A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic turn of events, peace talks between Russian President Vladimir Putin and senior envoys for former President Donald Trump failed to yield any significant breakthroughs regarding the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The discussions, which lasted over 5 hours late into Tuesday night, were characterized by both sides as constructive, yet they concluded without any compromise on the critical issue of territorial concessions. Russian foreign policy aide Yuri Ushakov expressed disappointment, stating that the summit had not brought the region any closer to peace, nor had it moved further away. The primary sticking point remains Russia's demands for control over the eastern Donbass region, a claim that Ukraine has firmly rejected. Ahead of the talks, Putin had already dismissed a new 20-point peace plan proposed by Ukraine and the US, labeling it unacceptable. He accused European nations of attempting to sabotage the negotiations, warning that if Europe chose to escalate tensions, Russia would be prepared for conflict. The content of the proposed 20-point plan remains unclear, but it is believed to have been a revision of an earlier 28-point roadmap that many in Europe viewed as a capitulation by Ukraine. As the situation unfolds, a drone attack by Ukraine on an oil depot in Russia's Tambov region has added another layer of complexity to the already strained relations. Local authorities reported that firefighters and law enforcement responded promptly to the incident, while the Russian Defense Ministry claimed to have intercepted and destroyed 102 Ukrainian drones in a single night. Meanwhile, tensions have also escalated between Lithuania and Belarus, as meteorological balloons from Belarus have forced Lithuania to shut down its main airport multiple times, stranding thousands of travelers. Lithuanian officials suspect these balloon flights are part of a deliberate effort by Belarus, a close ally of Russia, to disrupt normal operations. The backdrop of these events is the ongoing war in Ukraine, which is now approaching its 4th year. The stakes are high as American officials engage in discussions with Russian counterparts in an attempt to find common ground. Steve Witkoff, a billionaire real estate developer, and Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, represented the U.S. in the Kremlin talks. Despite the lengthy discussions, Ushakov reiterated that the two sides remain far apart on key issues, particularly territorial disputes. He noted that while some American proposals were deemed somewhat acceptable, many were not suitable for Russia, indicating that negotiations would need to continue. In a related diplomatic effort, French President Emmanuel Macron is set to visit China, where he aims to persuade Beijing to exert pressure on Russia to bring an end to the war in Ukraine. Macron's agenda includes discussions on trade and economic cooperation, with the hope that China can influence Russia to agree to a ceasefire. Following a meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Paris, Macron emphasized the importance of achieving solid security guarantees for Ukraine through negotiations. As the peace talks in Moscow concluded without resolution, Ukrainian President Zelensky expressed concerns about the potential waning interest of the U.S. in the peace process. He voiced fears that Russia's goal is to diminish American involvement in the situation. In a stark warning, Putin cautioned European leaders that should they choose to initiate hostilities against Russia, the consequences would be swift and severe, leaving no room for negotiation. He characterized the current conflict in Ukraine as not a full-scale war, suggesting that Russia was employing a more surgical approach. Ukraine's foreign minister echoed these sentiments, interpreting Putin's recent statements as threats to navigation freedom in the Black Sea and an indication that Russia is not prepared to end its aggression. The international community watches closely as these developments unfold, with the potential for escalation looming over the already fragile geopolitical landscape. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.